Hi guys, thank you for stopping by. My name is Jermaine, aka Jay, and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Previously on Jay's Big Chat.
We're saying about, what's being presented on social media in terms of its authenticity or...
For me, I would say, as a female, you look at other things that they're constantly pretty. Obviously, no girl has makeup on 24/7, but when you're of a younger generation, you look at people like influencers on Instagram, you're like, oh, I want to be like her, I want to constantly be pretty. Like, I went through that stage in sixth form in college, where I'd wake up, I'd have netball training in the morning, and I'd put makeup on, and I'm going to training. It doesn't make any sense, but I felt like I wasn't pretty enough, because then I'm comparing myself to other people on Instagram.
And I think with guys, it's not so much that. It's more, ours is more so much money and financial status. Like with women, it's a lot more how I look. With guys, it's a lot more. You see someone out there with that, this, that, and the other, and it's like, okay, I want, or I haven't got that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not speaking from my personal experience. I've never really been one for material things like that, but I know of people that are like that. They do, they do glorify those sort of
you know, the funny thing, that's so true. When I see stuff like that, for me, depends on how you look at it. You can take it as motivation. Don't, like I always say to people, never, like, we're all running the same 100 meters race, right? You can win today, and tomorrow is broke. So you won the race, right? What? You don't need to compete with no one. You're running a race. As soon as you finish the race and you get to where you want to be at a certain time and you're happy, that's all that matters.
It's a very big it's a huge distraction
for me,
to be comparing yourself with everybody all the time, whether it's on social media or off. It's a real waste of your time. Because if you want to get to that, you need to be focusing on that. And that's how I've felt with a lot of social media, where I'm actually distracting myself looking at this, when really I should be doing that.
And sometimes you don't even know when somebody started doing the same thing you're doing.
But that's my problem with
5 years before you, and you're thinking, oh, right, it's there right now. We're the same age. He started 5 years before you did. You just started a year ago. So why are you competing with him?
So I was talking to a friend based on that, and they look at social media, and a lot of the times they want to try and, I guess, live certain people's lives on social media because it looks glamorous. It looks perfect. You know, if you look on most social media sort of platforms, you would tend to, especially, you know, things like Facebook, Instagram, where whatever you take, whatever you put on there is there forever and a day until you delete it. So like, you're just kind of scrolling through and you're seeing nothing but perfection, you know. And I've seen people, and I've spoken to a friend who literally looks at that and compares it to their life and goes, well, why can't my partner do this? Look at this person out on 2-3 days a week on a date. I want to go on a date night. Why do you never take me on a date night? And that causes no. Or it's you know, these, you know, you kind of see like the perfect family, and it's, you kind of feel like, wait, my family doesn't match up to that. So I think, again, it depends on your look. I guess it depends on, your usage of social media as well, and how involved you are. And if you are within this generation, to be honest, even myself, I'm kind of inseparable from my phone.
I am, but that kind of bothers me.
Of course. Like, I will open Instagram just for the sake of it. Like, I would go onto Instagram and I'll scroll. I've already posted what I need to post, or already look at what I need to look at. But just for the sake of, I wonder what's new. Like, I'm always wondering what's new. But you know, the thing is, every second there's something new. Every second there's a new post, there's a new comment. And I find myself going into the comments, there's like 200.
And you read them more.
200, there's 200, there's 1,000, there's 2,000 comments.
And you're going down a rabbit hole, aren't you?
And I'm reading these comments. And I'm thinking, what did you say next? What did you say next? And then by that time it's finished, there's new posts to read through. You know?
But do you catch yourself going, I can't believe I've just read through.
Of course.
I wasted so much time of my life.
Of course. But it's always at the end.
But I think that comes down to just things being like everything nowadays, just with technology, is just so accessible. So everything is one button away. So like if you just look at apps and stuff, like everything's just one push of a button away. And I just think like because things are so accessible now, you're wasting your time on things like that because it is just one button away. You don't have to go and research things anymore. Yeah. I can just go and click that, and then like you said, you might just click on the comments. You're there for hours just looking at just stupidness. Yeah. But because it's accessible, because it's there one button away, like I might as well just do it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, I feel like it's also a new form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Yeah.
Because
I think that's like in the night when I can't sleep.
Yeah, you
so
scroll through that.
But when you also said, Nathan, about when you're seeing this person's doing well, that it kind of spurs you on. And I think I look and I think I want to get in touch with that person and say, how do you do this? Yeah. What's your secret? Rather than they make me sick because they're doing well and I'm not.
And one little problem I have, I'm always scared to ask people, how did you do it?
Yeah.
I don't like asking. I don't, because for example, when I was doing the clothing thing, somebody popped up and said, "Oh, what manufacturer is that?" I don't know why I found that offensive. I ain't telling you. Yeah. So it's that mentality of, okay, I don't want to ask them how they got that.
Because you wouldn't want them to ask you.
Yeah. Not so much. I think that's getting right into the nitty gritty, asking things like that. But just kind of, if you're saying to someone like that, I'm impressed by what by what you're doing. You're not asking for the suppliers and stuff like that.
I think that's the thing though with a lot of people that have made it like that and do post a lot of things on social media. My problem with them is that they don't post the journey to get there. So I'm sure we all know like Nipsey Hussle died the other week. Like he was always like an advocate for like someone who promoted his journey to get in there. So we could relate to that journey and be like, I see how you came up. Right. So this is how I can try and come up as well. But that's the thing with a lot of people who do make it on Instagram, like material wise or whatever, financial growth, they don't show the process. Just the result. But it's the result. So it's like, all right, back to what you were saying, Alison, it's like, how did you, seeing how they got it, do you know what I mean? It's like, you want to see the process to how they got there kind of thing. And
not
I don't
all
feel
people want to share their success.
I think not everyone wants to really show the success.
No, of course. Because it'll just be copied as well, won't it? Like, people copy your ways of success, but no, definitely.
So I've got another big question. Do you think that social media can ruin relationships?
Yes.
And when I say relationships, I mean the broader sense of relationships. So within families, within boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, whoever, just mother and daughter. Like, do you think social media can? Yeah. So if we all give like an example or our thoughts based on that, and see if we're all on the same sort of line, yes, no's, or maybe kind of.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right, we'll come with you next. Absolutely.
I think I sit on the fence on that one. For someone that's not a heavy social media user, like it's not an issue. I feel like it's not an issue in my relationship, personally speaking.
So a quick question: was your girl ever user on social media?
Yes and no. Okay. I think for her personally, I'm going to speak on her behalf. Okay. It's more of a when she's bored, she's on it. Okay. Whereas me, it's like I have no interest in something like that. Like I'm more, put me on the PlayStation or whatever. I'm just not into the social media thing. Okay. So in terms of ruining relationships, I understand how it can ruin relationships. Yeah. But I feel for myself personally, because I'm not on it as much, I don't see what's out there. Or not saying that I'll be tempted. I'm not tempted anyway. Yeah. But I understand, yes, but I can also understand like how can it ruin a relationship.
Okay, I feel like Rowan can tell you how it can how it can ruin. I feel like because Rowan said absolutely.
Before he gives you his, he has a very good point right now. Just wait for it. But so if you went on your girl's page, and she posted a picture, I'm talking about personal experience. Okay. Well, I'm reversing it.
Okay.
So imagine you're seeing a lot of love strucks, comments, a lot of other girls tagging their friend like snack and all that stuff.
Oh, snack.
So okay.
No, other guys. Sorry, other guys. How would you take that? I mean,
me personally speaking, now my partner does have all of that.
Okay.
When she posts, she does have a lot of male attention, shall we say? But it comes down to it. I can either go two ways. I can either be that jealous guy that's like, you know what, let's just turn this into a dictatorship where you can't have social media and that falls apart anyway. Or I can be the opposite and be like, you know what, you're appreciating my girl, but she's with me. And like, thank you. That's a compliment to me. That's my
you know, it's so weird. That's how I think. For me, it's an ego boost.
Yeah, it's ego boost.
If you want my girls at home,
like, I've got bad girl that you want.
That's normally the question. Oh, some guy made him. So, what, just him? Is Brendan trying as well? For me, it's an ego boost. Like, oh yeah, everyone's trying to talk to you.
You know what? Saying that Nick is the exact same thing. Like when mom just tells me instance, you don't tell me all of them, but when incidents happen where guys have tried to, you know, chat you up or say something, it's not. How are you? I was telling you, it's funny, we had this conversation today. Like 2 years ago, I probably would have gone mad.
Okay.
I'd be like, what? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You're doing something.
Yeah.
But the amount of trust that I have now and how I've matured, it's more like, okay, I can listen to it and be like, well, you are beautiful. I understand why they will come and chat to you.
Okay, so like, quick question. If you saw your girl coming out of post office and you're parked just across the road and you see it, the next guy trying to...
It's a high Dawkins straight to me. Across the road,
Finish him.
Yo, my man. You're mad.
You're beeping everything.
I literally switch. It's like, yo, my words switch, the tone switch.
What do you say? If it's in front of you, it's a different story.
No, if it's like, sometimes if it's very far, I chill and I just start smelling. I'm like, I can't wait for him to get past. I kind of enjoy it. I enjoy seeing you get parted.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's a case where I watch to see how they deal with it. So I'll watch to see how the girl deals with it. Because if she's gonna entertain it, alright, cool, we're done. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll chill there and just be like, I'll watch another man move to you, and I'll stand it. I won't say nothing. I'll wait for her to be like, no, you know what, I'm with someone, or like that's my boyfriend over there. If she's entertaining it, cool, I'm gone. I'm bouncing.
I don't want to see one single smile, you know.
Yeah, I'm bouncing.
Smiling at my man. Don't smile. I ain't know you don't like it.
Come on.
No,
No, it's just different things. Like, say for instance, what she said earlier, with if you sent him a message and you go back to check it if he's read it or not. Like, what do you do when you see that you got them blue ticks? Like, you feel a type of way, and now you're going to retaliate with her, and you're either going to do the same thing or you're going to go complain to her saying that why are you airing me, blah blah. It's different stuff like that, or even simply with entertaining other people. Like, if somebody slides into your DM, is having a conversation with them considered cheating or something, or is it immediate shutdown? It doesn't even matter what they say.
To be honest,
if it's just
my thing is this though, like if you're, it goes the same thing with like holidays as well. Like, if you're gonna cheat abroad, you're gonna cheat here. If you're gonna cheat on social media, you're gonna cheat anyway. Like, if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat.
So
whether
are you saying
social media?
Are you saying having a conversation with someone?
No, not me personally.
No.
I personally think, no.
So someone slide into your
DMs.
DMs,
innit? Yo, you don't reply, man. You read it. Ego boost. Like, yo, remember that girl from school that's trying to move to me now, you know?
Yeah.
That is it. Like, it's just, you don't reply to it because it's hot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people screenshot nowadays. You know what I mean? So don't risk your relationship. You've worked on a relationship for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Yeah. And then some little screenshot will just ruin it. You know what I mean?
But some people will do that with friendships as well. Like, if you message your friend and you air your friend, and now that friend wants to have a go at you or something. Like, it's the same thing. You're talking about relationships.
We're talking about all relationships in general.
Like, what about mine's a family thing. I have a cousin who I no longer speak to. Is on Facebook, so she'd put on her Facebook when Westfield opened in Stratford. Went to Westfield, and it was full of foreigners. Won't be going back there again.
What Westfield was this?
And I was like,
what Westfield was this?
In Stratford. Yeah. So my cousin's from out in Essex.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And where she lives is just all white people.
Yeah.
So she's put this on as a post, and so I put underneath, and I said, you may find, if you look back at our family name, that there was a time when we were bloody foreigners as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And other people start to put things on, and then I messaged her, inboxed her, and I said, where you work, you do realise that your company will look at your Facebook page. I don't believe you would make these comments at work, but this you're seeing as private, and these are your personal thoughts. She just said to me, get off your soapbox, and deleted me, and we have not spoken since.
Wow.
Back to how like social media and family, like if you had said that message to her in personal, would it have had the same effect? Did you feel like because you put it on her like publicly, do you think that affected how she kind of reacted to it?
No, I think that's her
Just
her
the way
view
she is.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like things that you would normally say in person can get
misconstrued on social media.
You don't have tone. You don't have tone, care in your voice when you're reading it.
Who's ever had the social media like beef?
No.
It's not.
You have?
No.
Back and forth?
Yeah. Do you deem it as worthy of your time being spent arguing with someone?
Oh no.
Was it worth it?
No, it wasn't, because it got so serious. I was like, no, we're talking too much. Link me. I was like, yeah, we're talking too much now. Link me. But I think it was just so heated. I was like, I can't believe you're making me tap back. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, social media is quite addictive, so you need to be careful. Like, you know, you just gotta ignore certain things. To be honest, you just gotta learn to ignore a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you should be alright.
Okay, I have a question. Do you, in terms of social media, do you feel like your friends have an impact on relationships involving social media?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Your
relationship?
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah. So
no, they shouldn't.
So tell us your experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so my experience that I've had.
I was just joking, but
Sam, you started it now.
So, for example, you and your partner, you have an understanding, and obviously the world of social media, if they post something, obviously your friends are friends with that person, everyone sees something, and you might not be too fussed about it, but because you have so many people popping up and saying, oh, this, that, it kind of gets into your head, and then you feel like, okay, now I need to address you about this, because you kind of feel embarrassed.
But you already had an
But
understanding.
it's because it's on social media.
But you already had an understanding about it.
I know, but because it's on social media, you've got so many people commenting on it, it feels like it makes you feel a type of way. And
then that's more so like you're being affected by others kind of thing, perception of others. If you and your partner have got that understanding, it's kind of like
but you know
the
what,
perception of others.
I'll take the woman's side on this one though.
Okay,
you know what? Yeah, because you know what, it's happened to me as well, so I know the energy. You know what? It's I feel like I need to choose my words wisely. I feel like women, if I'm wrong, please say I'm wrong, yeah? I feel like obviously they're more connected to their friends in a way, or people around them in a way where, as a man, I feel like if somebody says to you, oh, so about your girl, depends on how your mindset is. You might just be like, oh, safe bro, thanks bro, and you wouldn't even tell the girl, oh, he told me so, because you don't care. I'm saying it's like somebody coming up to you and telling me, okay, it's like somebody coming up to me and telling me about, oh, right, my older brother used to do a thing with your girl now. Oh, cool, bro. And 5 years down the line, I still ain't mentioned nothing. What are you telling me? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's the same way, but I feel like women, they take it more to heart because I don't know. I think it's just a woman thing. I guess. Yeah.
It depends what it is. Some said, oh, I used to be with a boyfriend back in the day. Okay, but I wasn't with him, so.
Yeah, why are you telling me?
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about like current affairs, like if the scenario is, oh, do you know that your partner is doing this, or why they're doing this? Look at them on social media doing this, whereas you've already looked at it and you've been like, yeah, I don't really care. Yeah. Like if he or she's doing, or they're going there, they're doing that, whatever, fine, I don't really mind. But because of the constant sort of bombardment from people on social media, you then...
It gets frustrating, but I feel like you probably take your frustration out on the wrong person.
Yeah.
I feel like I get where you're coming from with that as well, to be fair, because it is like, I get what you're saying with the embarrassment, as in like you're not putting that out to just you and your partner, you're exposing whatever's been seen on social media to a wider audience. So they've now seen that, and then now you're giving them ammo to judge a relationship.
Yeah, of course.
When if that wasn't out there in the first place, they wouldn't have had no ammo to judge a relationship.
True.
So it's that I get where you're coming from with that. That does make sense, but yeah.
Steph, what do you think with this one?
It comes down to the person, really. Like, I mean, I haven't got a lot of friends. I'm I've got a handful of good friends.
Yeah.
If I need advice, I go to them. But me as a person, it's down to.
That's all of us sitting in this room right now, right? The handful of friends.
Yeah, everyone that's not wearing green is my friend.
Everyone that's not wearing green. Sorry.
Should I take it off?
Big friend.
That is literally the definition of a big friend, right? That was back in the day as well. Big friend. Do we still say big friend?
Not really. Yeah, but I feel like my advice, I would say, just don't put your relationship on social media.
Yeah.
That's another thing as well.
To be honest, I think this sounds really crazy, right? If you feel like your partner gets a lot of social media attention, in fact, don't follow each other. It's the social media is for.
Do you think that?
Just don't follow each other.
But can you do that, or curiosity is better of you?
I can. We'll be sending each other memes 24/7.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Do you have you got your girlfriend on social media?
I have on both.
Okay.
On two. Not I used to have on Instagram, but she used to do weird stuff like, a girl comment and she would say stuff like, she reply. She's more of a feisty one. So it just starts arguments and stuff, Like somebody put in love struck and she could reply like, close your eyes. Like stuff like that. I'm just thinking, whoa.
Random applause.
And then imagine when you see that close your eyes, it just went underground. No network. Oh my god. When you come back out, you just see the war going on. Thinking, it's
but then where do you lot sit with like you said, don't put your relationship on Instagram or like on social media, but then where do you lot sit with posting pictures of you and your partner on Instagram? Do you mean like that, or do you just mean like things about your relationship?
Post, because you can post you and your partner, but don't post. How do I explain it? Like the whole.
Yeah, don't put your business on
every
there.
step.
Your business,
I have friends of mine who are in a couple and they dig at each other.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, and he'll put something up and then his wife just has to say something back, and then
in a bad is it bad?
And vice versa. Yeah. And it's like you two you're in the same house. You need to
say to each other. Of course.
Everybody's sitting on the sofa.
One's upstairs, one's downstairs.
Yeah. But it's always like they've got to kind of make the other one feel bad or sound bad or whatever.
I'll tell you what I don't like when it comes to, I guess, relationships and putting whatever on social media, and it's the part where you've obviously had a disagreement, argument with your partner, and already a post goes up that says something like, some people need to realise who they are.
I remember I told you about that girl that had that issue.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, you don't do that.
That with the food, that one that goes, don't anybody ask me.
Yeah.
Well, why have you put
Yeah.
Because you're just saying ask me.
You said ask me.
You're gonna cuss the man down, and then tomorrow you're gonna pop a snap play over your head. Like, you flipping dummy.
I think that's where judgment starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where, especially when it's repetitive, where you're seeing happy days. But you already know, like 2 days ago, as you said, you already said something like, if you say something to me one more time, I'm going to come and... Like, it's just, you always see it, more so on, I guess...
One man's trash, another man's trash.
Hey, that one.
And tomorrow they're back with the trash.
I changed it around. I was like, one man's dustbin is another man's bread. So I said, you know what I mean? Like, you can be so much trash, but somebody else will treat you way better.
Yeah, of course.
I met up with some girls that were all kind of like your age, and they were saying to me about it was making them feel anxious because I don't have what they felt was not enough followers on their social media. I don't give a damn for me. If there's 4 people or 400. And they were saying that was making them feel anxious. Like, my friend's got this many and I haven't got that. Is that a problem?
The follow thing. Should I tell you why? Because Honestly, business-wise, it does matter.
Yeah, but this was personal. This was all personal.
I appreciate insights.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the followers thing, I don't think it matters. I'll tell you why. I've noticed something. Especially, for example, the females, especially, that have like 20k followers, 60k, and then they get 2k likes. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Yeah.
The ratio.
Yeah, like,
Doesn't
they
matter.
don't care about you.
Yeah, does not. But you see, but it goes back to the very same topic that we started with when we're talking about people's perception of other people.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, those individuals that you were speaking to, and I've spoken to individuals like that as well, where they will say yes, they feel anxious based on the fact that their friends within the same class, within the same work, wherever it is, has 10 times the amount of followers. So like when you post a picture and 10 people like it, for them, they're anxious. They're waiting for those numbers to increase because you know they're like, no, anything under 50 likes is not good enough, you know. And it's a picture of me at my best. Why am I not getting more likes than this? Where someone can post a picture of their dog or something in their house and they're getting 200 likes, you know. So they're looking at the amount of followers they have, the amount of followers that someone else on social media might have, and then comparing, well, here's a picture of me. I think I look nice. I think I look my best. Why am I getting 12 likes and someone else that I think we're in the same league, same sort of followers and so forth, they're getting 200 likes, you know, and that creates what do I now need to do? So then you're now fixated on that person and going, okay, let me see what I need to do in order to get my likes up, you know. Let me look at your profile, look at your, see how you post, what you post. I wonder what filter you use. I wonder.
It's not actual.
It does go all that deep, doesn't it?
But if it was actual currency, I could understand it.
Yeah, no. I was gonna ask a question on that though, Jermaine. Like,
yeah.
What you said just now is like, I'm guessing everyone here like aren't people who have suffered from the anxiety of not having 100 likes. Like, I don't know, is anyone?
We probably suffered from different kind of anxiety.
Not that. I'm saying, yeah. But what I was gonna say is, what I was
yeah.
gonna ask is, can we see and understand and empathize with people that do have anxiety
Yes.
from social media?
Yes.
And from not getting the amount of likes that they expected to, or not looking a certain way. Do we empathize with it? That's
Yes.
what I was gonna ask.
My question would be why?
I would say yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I think anxiety is
Don't you
it's
think that
an
would follow
illness.
through in
Yeah,
other
yeah,
parts
yeah.
of their life? If you're like that on social media.
Like Jermaine said earlier, though, that like you touched on earlier, people have anxiety in different ways, and I feel like I've got family members who suffer, like they're diagnosed with anxiety, like it's a real thing, and I don't know if everyone's aware that it is a real thing,
Of course,
and he can't speak to people, like literally can't even be in a room like how we are here, not even how we like a normal conversation. That's anxiety on that level. But then there's anxiety, like we're saying, with social media. That's a different type of anxiety. And my thing is like, can we empathize with that? Can we see why, if that is what they're anxious about, like we might be anxious about a test tomorrow, that they might just be anxious about that. Is that something we can empathize with?
They feel like they're falling on the par of, okay, I want to make it in the social media world, or I want to be liked in this social media world. I want to be recognized. I want to be liked. I want to, I want my followers to increase. I want my likes to increase. And they post a picture and they're getting negative comments, or they're getting no comments, or they feel like, oh, it's been a year and I'm still on 22 followers, and really and truly I want to be on 2,000 right now because everyone else is on that, right? Or they think everyone else is on that. And for them, where they spend more time on their phone or whatever platform they're using to access the social media, that is their world now. Okay, outside of the real world, once their face hits that screen, they're within the social media world. So anything negative that happens within this world, I feel that's linked to them, that's where the anxiety comes in. So it's like, I've got to post a picture, but I can't post a picture like this because I feel like I need to edit this out. I feel like I need to make my skin smoother before I put it out there. I feel like I need to, there's so many apps now that you can get that can give you abs and muscles and define your cheeks and so forth.
It's starting to look more and more artificial.
No, of course, but that's what sells. That's what the social media world likes.
Yeah.
You know.
But then, could you have that? Like, do you think that could have been avoided in terms of the rise of social media?
No.
Do you think you could have had the rise of social media and not had these issues that we're dealing with?
No, the reason I don't think so.
The
reason I don't think so is because people that are on social media, and correct me if I'm wrong, and other people may disagree, but I feel like, again, as I said, social media is a separate world, right? And where you can't make it in the real world, you then have another chance to make it in the social media world.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Because those individuals that, when you look at some of these celebrities or influencers and so forth, they're heavy in the social media world. They're known across social media platforms, right? But within the real world, outside of their circle of social media people, then you say to someone's saying, no, not really, no. Yeah, I've never heard of them. And it's like, how have you, oh yeah, I'm not on social media, or you wouldn't know if you're not on social media. Do you understand? There's certain names that you would only know if you're on social media. And I feel like if you've got that world, right, I don't think it could have gotten any other way, because it's rebranding yourself, you know, because there's those who actually suffer with different type of anxiety, like travel, speaking to people. Like, social anxiety is a massive thing. Social anxiety is a massive thing. And I've got a friend who suffers from social anxiety, and I didn't even realize until he told me, and I was like, oh, you're one of the funniest people. He picked up comedy as a form to override his anxiousness. So he was always the funniest within his group, you know, and then he took that on stage and then went, you know, and so.
So that's their way of venting.
Yes.
But that's what I was gonna go back to, social media. That's people's way of venting through social media. Like, that's their way out. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the same way how you said, it's a coping mechanism. Like you just said about your friend that used comedy as their way out. People use social media as their coping mechanism for what's going on in their real world.
And the other thing, sorry to cut you, other thing about anxiety, I've got a friend of mine who has got a very high-powered job. She's so dynamic. She's really like on everything, and told me recently that she suffers from anxiety. And you've got, there's a term, I can't remember what the term is, but I think they say like high functioning.
Right.
So you're high functioning, but you still have anxiety. Whereas, and she's very successful, so we always think that those people that are successive wouldn't have anxiety.
Because they're so confident.
Yeah.
But then, what I was going to ask you guys about with anxiety is, how much do we tolerate before it becomes an excuse? Do you know what I mean? Like, how much can we say, all right, they've got anxiety, but then some people might use that as a way out, as an excuse?
I don't think any of us can judge whether or not someone.
It's hard to measure another person.
It is. I feel like it is. Yeah. I don't.
The only reason I asked was because I work with kids for a living, so I'm in charge of people, of different characters and different people with different young people with different conditions and stuff like that. So for me, it's like, when I'm managing these behaviors, how far do I go in terms of like adapting too much to say, all right, you know what, this little one's got blah blah blah, and this one's got blah blah blah. All right, I can't be too harsh with them or discipline too much. The same thing with, like, I'm sure you guys in managerial roles or whatnot, when you got to manage a group of people, this one might have anxiety. How far do I go before it begins to be too much?
Can't ever say anything to them.
I can't say nothing because they're a bit touchy or they've got social anxiety. That's why I was trying to go.
Where I say it becomes a problem, if I can use the word problem, or it's using this as an excuse to, I have nothing to say, you know, because I'm anxious, I've got anxiety. I feel like it's where you're not doing anything about it. And I think that goes for everything in life, just from my opinion.
See, with the children that you're working with, like, I look at that and I think they could kind of take that all the way through their life. I have anxiety.
Yeah, of course.
And like, that's it.
Yeah.
I had with me when I was younger, all my school reports said Alison's easily distracted. And I've said to people over the years, oh, that's me, I'm easily distracted. And I've actually this year started to address it because it's kind of, I've sat in that and then gone, you know.
So I feel like as individuals, you know, where anxiety is concerned, if there are ways in which we can tackle it, you know, if there's external help or just reading.
As someone who is a reader, and it made me think, as you're saying that about, you've got social media here and then you've got a book here. With this, you have to stay with this.
100%.
You don't
that
keep flitting, so your brain.
Concentration.
So with my daughter at home, she'll have the phone here, TV's on, laptops out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I say to her, one or the other. Yeah. Because she's kind of going like this, and when she's talking to me, she's bouncing from half a sentence to another, whereas you've got that book, and you said that calmed you down. I do workshops around mindfulness, and it is literally right. You're going to go and do the washing up. Don't do the washing up and check your phone, because what you'll find is it take you so much longer to do that. You just do that, and you'll find levels of anxiety.
Do you think, because I was having this conversation with my grandma the other day, and she suffers from a mental illness, Parkinson's, and she said something to me that like kind of took me back a little bit. It was like, she said, do you feel like we're going brain dead in certain areas of our brain because we're not doing things like that, and that is causing more mental illness? So my grandma was like, for example, we don't work things out in our head mathematically anymore. We just go to our calculators on our phone. We don't research in books anymore, concentrate on what we're doing. We just on our phone, Google, type it in. So she said to me, don't you think that's doing something and could be causing like all these sort of mental illness?
Your mind is jumping.
Because you're jumping, you're not actually concentrating, like you said, on reading a book, word for word. What is this saying? Oh, I'm here, I'm there. So surely that's, because I was going to ask you guys, why do you think anxiety now is more prominent than it was 30 years ago? Because when I speak to my grandparents about it, they're like, what's anxiety?
I've got two.
We didn't know what that was back then.
I've got two things to say about that, and then I'll let whoever else want to jump in. I think awareness is one thing. I feel like it might have been there and probably was there back then.
But we don't talk about.
But we don't talk about we don't talk about that. It's kind of along the lines of being a macho man and not talking about your feelings, where now it's kind of, I'll talk about my feelings, I don't really mind, you know.
Become more acceptable.
It becomes more acceptable, more spoken about. So I think that's one reason, one thing. The other, I think your gran is a genius in terms of what she said. Because when I'm reading a book, and listen back to your point as well, it is just the book. When I'm on my phone reading my blogs and reading whatever pages, notification pops up. Boom. Oh, Instagram. And I'm on Instagram for 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, I was reading something.
How many people do that on iPhone? You know, you double tap your homepage and then you can flick through all your apps. And just go, oh, I'm gonna go here. Tap,
and then you forget what you were doing. So then my reading is about 6 minutes worth interrupted reading because I'm just like, I read and then my mind goes to something and I'm like, oh, I just need to check my schedule for today. Then I go to my calendar and then I look at all my stuff and it's taking me away from that. Whereas now with my book, honestly, like I'm opening these pages and I'm on like page 325 now. And I'm just every day I'm just looking, okay, I've done 5 pages on the way to work, I need to do 6 pages on the way home, and I'm just like forever going through. I'm enjoying reading the book and I feel less stressed, I feel less irritated by people on the underground. I feel
do you find
journey
that
is a lot
when
more
you're
pleasant.
getting sitting down, you're like, oh, I've got my book.
Yes.
It's like you can't wait to get back to it.
Listen, sometimes even when I don't sit and I have one hand here and I have my book here and I'm happy, like the train's going, people are barging me and stuff, but I'm just so engaged, especially if it's a good book.
Can I ask one question of everyone? If, say, we went away for a weekend and I said no phone, no social media, would you do that for a weekend?
Yes, we've done that before. Me and Sarisi have done that before at parties. So we done like me and my friends and Sarisi and that done like a gathering, like social drinks. games and stuff, we said everyone put your phones in the middle, and they stayed there the whole night. Literally, like we just played games and stuff, and just done like stuff like that instead, and just left the phones there.
I'm thinking about when I went on holiday when I was say 20 and I had no social media yet. And when you went on holiday, you were away for 2 weeks. You didn't see anything. You didn't speak to any of your friends. No contact. You might ring your mum after a few days. Yeah, we're all right. And then on your last day. But now it's like you don't. You're sending your pictures on the day that happens.
You get Wi-Fi as soon as you get out there, innit? That's the first thing you do is get Wi-Fi when you're out. Wherever you are now, innit?
Yeah.
I feel I'm the complete opposite though. I think right now I'm at a place where I can go without my phone. Because I don't use my phone on a day-to-day basis. Like when I'm at work, I don't use my phone. It's only to contact like the people I need to contact. My missus. When I'm at home, my phone's on the side. Like right now, when I pick up my phone now, is to play a game.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, to answer your question, I think I can definitely do.
To be honest, I think I'm 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you see when we're playing PS4 online, for example.
Yeah.
I try to put my phone on silent, but just sometimes I just have to take it out because my phone is just like I'm not talking social media. I'm talking business wise, or whatever. My phone is very important for me, so it's like I always got to look at the phone. But there's times where I even say I'm playing a game or something. I'm like, I wish I could just chuck this phone in the water. Yeah. Because I literally want to get rid of it, but I can't because I need it. So for me, I feel like I could go on holiday for 4 days.
Not the same for you.
And as soon as I can check my phone in the night when I get to bed, I'm good.
No, you can't check it at all.
No. Once a day, once you get in bed, check your phone.
No, if we said a solid Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's possible. That's the weekend.
You cannot look at the phone at all until the.
No, not even once.
For me, that's freedom. That's
okay.
For me, that's
happiness. I feel like it's freedom for all of us. I do.
It depends what we're doing. You said like if you're on holiday though.
Yeah, if
you're busy,
I'm busy.
Fine with that. But if I'm sitting like at a house the whole day,
whatever problem you got, don't call me. I'm having fun. You know?
If I'm having fun, do you know what I mean? If I'm having fun, no, that's fine. Yeah.
So do you feel like the phone comes out or tablet comes out, laptop comes out when there's boredom?
Yeah, definitely.
More so.
Yeah. If I'm sitting there doing nothing like day to day, like if we're around a group of people like that, maybe we don't see often or whatever in this conversation, then the phone ain't coming out at all. But day to day, if mum, dad, just there every day, like I'll be on my phone because you're seeing the same people, you know what I mean, the same conversation. But if you're around new people or you're busy doing activities or whatnot, I don't feel like I would be checking my phone.
Yeah.
That's the same with me. Like when we're on holiday, so I forget to go on social media.
Yeah.
Like usually you'd always want to be snapping, but it's like I forget.
Yeah,
I'm
because you're
caught up
doing
in the moment.
Yeah.
Same way.
So I think I'll be able to last.
But whereas you guys have people on social media that go on holiday and you see everything about their holiday, right?
I wonder for those people that when they actually think back to that holiday, if they kind of, because you're on it all the time.
Yeah.
Do you actually remember? I've been to gigs and I've seen people like they're filming for 20 minutes. Are you actually going to go home and watch that bit?
And then they don't actually remember. You're not actually creating any memories yourself. You're not actually there. You're just
Because for me, I remember going on holiday and I was thinking. I kept telling my friends, send me that picture, send me that video, because I used to leave my phone at home. I was excited about going out and just leaving my phone. So I think for me, it was a bit bad because I was so happy to put my phone outside. I forgot to take memories as well. So it was all here, but I couldn't share it with other people.
Yeah.
I think there's two sides to that as well, like you said, Nathan, because 10 years, 20 years down the line, whatever, when you're sharing you want to show your kids, your grandkids, what you was doing. Do you know what I mean?
Now you're gonna be that old guy that just
you're telling me. No one is telling me.
Back in my day,
because you know what? I had this. I'll say this really quick. I had this. I think when I went to Sweden, I had this. We went to this place called Mall of Scandinavia. That's it. And we was doing this punching competition on the the thingy, the arcade thing.
Yeah.
And I was dealing with these really big guys, and I was so surprised that I got the highest score.
Oh, nice.
But I had to chase down that video for like 3 weeks before I could get it with my friend because I forgot to record it. And I was like, I can't believe I can't actually punch harder than most of these.
Yeah.
Big
that was just in your head.
Yeah.
Now.
And it's like they thought it was a fluke. We done it again and again.
Okay,
you got the technique. I'm like, So it's like, but I never recorded it.
Yeah.
I had to chase.
The moment was just in your head.
Like, hey, yo, DM that person. I've asked them if they got a video. It's like, because I was proud to show people, like, yeah, I'm stronger than this. It's so silly, man.
Do you think if you could print off, like say it was Facebook or Instagram, if you could print it off, and it would be, because you've got all the dates there, and you could give that to your child or something, or you could say, look, this is what went on
for how
5
many
years,
But let's
10
be honest,
years,
I
not
think they'll probably look
everything,
at us like we're lame if we give them the whole bunch of
Yeah.
I'm not looking for you.
Do you know what? Do you know when I go
it's kind of like a diary.
saying that when I go to like relatives' house and we're looking at photographs, right? I actually spend longer looking at one photo and actually looking at the details at it than I do with a photo that's electronic. Like, I would look at it and it's like, oh yeah, next one, oh yeah,
True,
do you know what I mean? Like, and I'll go through it. It can be the biggest album, every single picture. I'm going, oh, look at that, and every
But then
detail.
is that down to just the quality of the photo?
No.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as in,
I don't think
because
so.
I'm looking through old pictures and it's like you're working out, trying to work out who's who.
What pictures he has?
How far back are we going? How
No,
far
like,
back are
I'm
we
talking
going?
like grandparents, like diaries and stuff, and you know where you're like looking through them and they're like
Right field.
like what's that? And it's like the quote, it's like black and white and stuff. Yeah, like stuff like that. But I don't know. No, I do know what you mean. Or you do spend more time. Actually, you take more care looking through it.
Yeah.
Where you're just swiping. Do you know what I mean? On the phone kind of thing, looking through stuff. But no, definitely.
That was a really good chat. So I think we come to the conclusion that when it comes to social media, there are pros, there are cons. It can be used for both business and personal life also. And when it comes to anxiety sort of being connected with social media, again, we can see correlations. And I think it kind of just brings us back into reality, doesn't it? Where we kind of have to be mindful. And it's all about balance. It's all about having there's nothing wrong with social media as long as it doesn't, it doesn't take over your actual life.
I think we've seen that we're all quite balanced.
We are. Surprisingly, we agreed mostly on everything. With slight difference, but then that's fine. And I guess when it comes to anxiety, I guess a remedy that we could try and recommend is a good book. And I guess talking about it, discussing it, making it a thing not to shy away from. And I feel like that way we can possibly change the influences that social media brings, and sometimes not just showing the perfectness or the perfection of social media or of the world, because in real life we see the imperfections, but on social media we don't. So if we can, not everyone needs to look like a glamour model, not everyone needs to look like a chiseled piece of artwork. But yeah, I think we had an amazing chat, so thank you guys for joining me again on this second episode of Jay's Big Chat. Thank you for coming down.
No worries.
Thanks for having
Pleasure.
us.
You're welcome. Thank you, camera people. Has a character ever related? Yeah, that you relate to. Avengers? Which Avenger? Which Avenger did you relate to? Captain America.
Yeah. His characteristics. Thor.
Okay.
Sorry, no, it's a lie. These all. Oh no!
Standard.
No, because that was
I mean,
my laugh was poorly timed. I wasn't saying you can't. Like, I'm not saying you're not like Thor. No, this
You're not digging a hole. Just stop being digging a hole.
So you won't be for episode 5.
This is it. This is my debut and final episode. All in one.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.